Yes, Thunderbirds are go. You're quite right, mate. But the Southern Footy League is what we want to talk about. And the Prez, Craig Warman, joins us. Not lovely, you're just muttering that, maybe it comes up on the microphone.
Yeah,
so
really.
you can put a team of Thunderbirds in, mate. Hey, let's. Do you want to talk about the round, or do you want to get to the big game that's coming up? What do you want to attack first, mate?
Well, let's have a look at last week's round because
right.
there were some pretty interesting games.
There sure were.
And have ramifications going forward.
All right, mate. So Christie's Beach, it was a real battle. A 9-point win in the end, over Morphett Vale, but it was a good game.
A terrific game of footy and led to believe that it was nip and tuck all day. But at the end of the day, Christie's got a few players back, starting to find a little bit of form. And this is, with Morphett Vale having the bye this week,
Christie's
could jump them into the top five. So it's getting to that start of that time of the season.
But that's how important that game was, because they pick up a couple of points, Christie's Beach.
Yes.
Morphees are on 8 and have that bye. So that was critical that they won that game.
To keep in touch, to keep their season alive, very
but
much
now, I'm not sure of the percentage of the two clubs.
No, pretty close.
Well, they could jump them.
Very much so.
Wow.
Don't jump the gun. We'll get to next round because there's going to be a couple of big games in that one as well. We don't need to worry about Flagstaff Hill because they just dominated. They continue to do that over Port Noarlunga. But
everybody.
Happy Valley, they got a 29-point win over Cove in the end. But again, I spoke to a couple of people. They said that was a pretty good game.
It was a terrific game. It was probably nip and tuck right up till about 10 minutes before the end.
Yeah.
And Happy Valley got away with a couple of late ones to blow it out to 29 points. But speaking to Ray, he was pretty happy the way the boys performed, coming off a win the week before against Aldinga, who had the bye. But still some pretty positive stuff coming out of the Cove Footy Club.
And Ranella, of course, mate, 22-point winners over Noarlunga, sitting nicely in second spot.
You might well laugh, but I got to tell you, I was pretty disappointed with Noarlunga.
With Ranella?
No, Noarlunga.
Oh, Noarlunga, yeah.
To be honest, they when you had blokes like Robert Era, Cal Semple, who kicked 7 goals in the association game, who pulled out of the Ranella side before the game with some niggles.
Yeah.
Noarlunga coming off of five straight wins.
Yep.
Yeah.
They were terrific leading into, but they just.
They might be a bigger picture, mate. They're looking further down the track.
Whether that's bigger picture, but you would have thought that this was a chance for them.
Well, it's your opportunity
to shorten the gap and block and lock in the top 3.
Yeah.
And they let it slip.
Yeah, well, Ranella probably would have got him anyway. So.
Well, yeah, they probably would, but in saying that, it was they had that spurt in the third quarter that got them half back in the game, but then Ranella in the last quarter just ran away with it in 22 points.
So can we have a look at next week's games? There is some very good games next
Well,
week.
your team is up against my team, Cove v Ranella.
Cove Ranella at home, Press.
Yep.
Yeah, Cove at home are always hard to beat. Ranella, again, picked up a couple of injuries. Was really impressed with a young lad by the name of James Smith. Played his first game for Ranella last week. Held the leading goal kicker from Noarlunga, Victor Robinson, goalless for the whole game, but popped the shoulder in the last minute of the game.
Great.
Unlucky for him, but look, Ranella will hopefully get a couple of players back. I think,
Ranella.
It's no certainty, Phil.
No, it is for me.
Oh, it is for you.
Yeah, it's my team. Mate, I sat with them last year when you blokes were pillaging me about Ranella, mate. So, it felt like...
I've got to own up, mate.
Yeah.
I've set you up.
Yeah.
With the Prez.
no
I
doubt.
told the Prez before.
Yeah.
Ranella will win it pretty comfortable.
Cove, you're going to tip Cove. See what Smiley
I got a
said.
big tick right here.
He's already marked it on the sheet. He's already marked it on the sheet.
Aldinga, mate, 9th. Christie's beat 6. Although 9 and 6 doesn't really line this one up.
No, it doesn't.
This is a huge game.
This is a huge game.
At Aldinga.
At Aldinga.
Yeah.
If Aldinga win, they're back in the race. If Christie's win, they, as you mentioned earlier, could take Morphett Vale's spot in the top 5. Who knows where it goes from there.
So this was why I was talking bigger picture before, because Noarlunga play Flagstaff Hill.
That's right.
It don't get any bigger than Flagstaff Hill.
I'm wondering if they've rested a couple of blokes looking at this game going, and I understand what we've said before, but okay, we want to win him in the grand final. Let's see what we've got right now with everybody fit and ready to go. So,
well, I think they had their opportunity, Phil, but by the sounds of things, it would have been nice going into Flagstaff Hill game
Yeah.
with a bit of momentum and a win.
A good win over Ranella.
Yeah.
A win over Ranella would have been really
But they
good,
might have
wouldn't it?
rested those two players, I'm saying. They could have played them and then
Yeah.
they're sore for a couple more weeks,
Yeah.
but let's see what we've got in this game.
Oh,
So-
yeah, it could quite
And,
easily
and,
be.
and Noarlunga are always hard to beat at home, but you can't fault Flaggies. They've done nothing wrong. So that'd be my tip in a reasonably close one.
All right, Port Noarlunga, mate, up against Happy Valley.
In the first round, this was Port Noarlunga knocking them off.
Yep.
At Happy Valley. Porties,
Porties are struggling a bit at the moment.
Porties
Happy
are
Valley
struggling
going
at the
okay.
moment. Happy Valley going okay, so I think the Valley might get that one.
So, mate, the Flagstaff Hill coach, obviously he's got a big job coming up the next week or two.
Yeah, Russ,
So
with the
I reckon you
Southern
need him to get a
Districts.
couple of big wins by half time so he can sit there and refocus in the second half on what he's got to do with you blokes.
Well, we're pretty confident going forward.
Yep.
The boys get together on Sunday, and by looking at the squad, gee, it's going to take some beating. So we'll go in reasonably confident on both sides of the fence with the girls and the women,
Yep.
girls and women again, and the senior men. So. Of course, remembering that the girls are the current reigning champions of the country championships.
Yep.
So the boys hopefully can emulate what the girls did
All right,
last
so it's a
time.
bye week.
It's a bye week for the whole of the state.
Yep.
I think the only
2 weeks. We're 2 weeks out from
yeah,
that.
2 weeks out from that. But
Yep.
the only teams that would be playing are the amateur league because they're not involved.
Okay. Hey, mate, just quickly, the grounds, there's been a fair bit of rain coming through. The grounds holding up okay
Well, they were up until Sunday
on Sunday?
at Ranella, but we won't go into that.
Bit slippery out there.
Well, they got the turf wicket there, so of course that tends to get a little bit
okay.
bit sloppy.
Although we've had a couple of really nice days, so it might dry out. Might
I might give them time to replace a few of the divots.
yeah.
Need an earth mover, I believe, to straighten it out. That's what I
All right, you need to get down and support your teams this weekend. The Southern Footy League, it's a ripping league. Get down there and support your team. If you haven't got a team, I recommend you jump on the Wineflies Ranella. They are a great team to jump on. Stay right away from the Cove Footy Club over there. Stay with us. Still plenty to come on the show.